Welcome to the Taxman Show. We ask the questions to get all of your accounting, tax, and small business questions answered. Now here is your host, Albert Taxman Corey.
Taxman Corey, another edition of the Taxman Show, where we ask the questions to make sure that you get your business the best tax return and get your business opened. Any questions or comments, you can always leave it below, and we'll get back to you. We now have a podcast, so just go on iTunes and search Taxman Show, and I'm gonna come up. Well, today's topic is two things to avoid. Hi, Mr. Hussein. Two things to avoid when you open up your LLC. Guys, this is coming on all in time. I saw this happen to me twice this week. The biggest thing I saw is, guys, don't try to open up yourself. Every time somebody tries to open up themselves, I get all these questions when I make all these mistakes because they're opening up themselves. You're going to get it wrong. 50% of the time you're going to wrong. You're going to have issues. The first issue I saw happen this week is that somebody called me that when they went to go open up a bank account, that they had their minor daughter on the return. This is happening more and more. Okay, Mr. Cole, how you doing? So you don't put a minor. Why you don't put a minor? Because when there's going to be times, like if you have a bank account, if you're trying to get ATM machine, you're trying to do something legal, they may ask for all their partners. So you don't put a minor on the paper. Second thing I will tell you to do, when you open up your LLC with the state or anything, you make sure that I would only put you as the partner when you open up the company, because for a couple of reasons. Nowadays, all the banks, if they see the names on the LLC, they're going to have everybody go down and sign it, even if you're a 1% partner. So you don't put, you only put one. Another reason why you only put one is that if you don't file on time to the IRS, they're going to charge you $200 for every partner. So now the workaround is you have one person when you sign up with the state. You have one person, you have to have two people when you do the tax returns. So what you do is when you have other partners, you make them do a partner agreement. I'm not no lawyer, but it's kind of like simple. You have to go get legal counsel to help you, but it pretty much says that that this is where partners and blah blah, this and this. So that would be a binding agreement. Another thing you can't do in any of the states is make sure that you don't use a PO box. All right, every single state, requires that you must have a physical address. You could use your house address. That's cool. But I would tell you to use a UPS box, rent a UPS box, or get a virtual office. Because now nothing's going to go to your house. And if somebody searched the name of your company, they're going to go, they're going to find an address. The best way to do it, guys, the really, really cool way is you go have a virtual address. There's regions. Maybe you can find a family, a friend, or somebody who has a commercial spot, like an office space, that you can use their address. Okay, that you can use their address. That's one thing you could use, is find somebody having an address. That will work. And that works for a couple of reasons, because sometimes when you go open up a bank account, virtual address, like a Regis, or or an office building somewhere, that somebody allows you to use that as an address. So what you do is you use that as an address, but you use a mailing address to someplace else. So now your corporate address will be the virtual address, and the regular address, will be, you could have your house as the mailing address. They don't care, because I know that Wells Fargo Bank they're going to research. They're going to research, and when they pull up the address, they're going to see that it's a UPS store, and sometimes they're going to say, nope, you have to have your regular address. But if you have a physical address and they want to check it, like in my office, I have about 12 people who use my office as an address, but they have a mailing address to someplace else. But now they have a regular address. And that regular address can be, this virtual address can be used for a bunch of things. That's going to be coming out in my book, Perception, which should be coming out soon. All right, so, Mr. Lewis, if Mr. Lewis wants to come on and ask me a question, by the way, this later is going to be converted into one of my podcasts. Somebody wants to come on and add me. I'm outside today. Funny part is I'm outside today because they're cleaning my office. Does he want to come on? So I'm outside because actually I got to put a podcast. I got 5 podcast issues up at the Taxman. You on iTunes, you go to Taxman Show, and we're there. So that's all this will be put onto my podcast, which is going very well. So that's pretty much the show for today. Does anybody want to come on and have any questions or want to come on? You're always welcome. Remember, any questions, you could always post it below. If you're listening to this on iTunes, you can ask us any question. Email us at albert@1040w2.com, where there'll be a pop-up and ask you. If you're watching this on the replay on Facebook, you can always put a post below or in the messenger box, and we're here. Wants to be in your video. Okay. Let me see, go to here. Sure, see, how do I get these? I'm trying to figure out how to get this. Oh, that's not it. Mr. Hussein, are you there? So, Mr. Lewis, what's up, dude? So that's going to be the show today. Oh, and yesterday I got some other cool content. I went to Toastmasters, which will be having that content up soon. Okay, guys, so I'll talk to everybody soon. Bye-bye. Remember, sharing is caring. We're on all social media platforms. We're now on iTunes, so please give us a review. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to The Taxman Show. If you have any questions, please leave it below or email it to albert@1040w2.com. Remember, sharing is caring. Please follow us on all social media platforms.